Classic played this map a lot in the groups, to be fair. He seemed to enjoy it. And so here it is right now. And obviously Solar kind of interested in playing it too. To the bottom right hand side, our red Zerg player from Splice is going to be Solar. Top left is going to be our blue Protoss player, Classic, here in game number 1 of our second quarterfinal match of the day. Pro pulls down and will be throwing down a gateway. So a gateway coming down here. And an assimilator too. So gateway and an assimilator dropping down at the moment. I'm just going to see this probe going to throw down the assimilator to the right hand side. Drone going to nibble away at the pylon on the low ground, which is actually just going to block forces Solar into the gas pool opening. Kind of awkward for Solar because obviously he is going to have a lot of minerals to utilize here early. It would kind of, make the it would kind of go well for him if he was able to get a spine crawl or so up, something along those lines. So setting up in towards this is going to be seeing the couple of drones nibbling away. You can see Solar's minerals are just kind of rising up massively. This is actually hugely detrimental for Solar. If he can't actually, I mean, what's he going to build? 2 lings, a queen? But that still leaves him with so many minerals here in the early stages that he's just not able to utilize properly. Well, this is kind of painful for Solar. It really, really is so far. An Overlord on the way too. Eventually here he can maybe drop the hatch, but there's a Cyber Core to block. This is going really badly wrong for Solar right now. 500 minerals in the bank. Lings come out. He'll start to fight his way through this Cyber Core in a second. But Cyber Cores have a lot of health. They go up to 1100 hit points. Obviously they gain health pretty quickly. So you are going to be seeing this Cyber going down. Probe will pull back home. It was a gate Cyber double gas opening here. As you're going to see these probes continue to mine through the gold minerals again. Idea being if you get through those gold minerals you have access to the top side bases. So we'll now finally get the hatchery down on the low ground. Things coming across the map, but it is a wall off. There's a Stalker being built here early. As you're going to see a 1-base robo, a 1-base double robo out of Classic. 1-base double robo from Classic here in game number 1 of Arch of Janus. And what does Solar do about it? Again, he's just got so many minerals to spend that right now he just can't quite spend because of the way this game goes. Oh my god. He's just gone 1-gate triple robo. What do you even support of triple robo? Stalker gets rid of an Overlord there. Solar gonna have to build another. Starts to go up into his lair. Starts to take a second gas. Maybe it would have been better for him to take a second gas sooner. Not because he necessarily has something to, not necessarily because he has something to, to build with gas just yet. But it would just be a better way to maybe even things out, perhaps. I'm not sure. Anyways, I mean, Immortal is on the way, plus a Warp Prism right away here. And again, Classic going to commit to the 1-base for now. We'll see how this continues. Again, guys, after this, it will be Serral versus Snoot. And then it will be Gumiho versus Scarlet as we see the Stalker poking away at the Overlord. Overlord taking quite a bit of damage as it gets pushed on down to the south side. I'm not actually sure what Solar's going to do to kind of fight and defend against this, honestly, at this point. 3 more Immortals on the way up in production. I'm going to see this Prism actually has a few probes in here. What on earth is he going to do with probes? Drops one down here. Oh. Classic doesn't realize that this is air blocked. Oh no, Classic! Ah. Well, you know what? There is rocks which you can try and break through. This is all air blocked, by the way, so you cannot fly through this area. So you can't just fly through, and that's why we've not seen anything like this until now. Classic's only 200 minerals away from breaking through there, if that's where he wants to expand to, and obviously the idea is he's looking to apply a lot of pressure with these Immortals. A Spire on the way up from Solar, though. He's going to see this couple of Queens going to get poked away at. I like the idea from Classic trying to drop around, but I mean, obviously, the map is designed to force you to stick around here for a little while longer. And that's what Classic's issue is going to be. 137 minerals until he breaks out into the top side of the map with his probes. Things over here as well. We're going to see a little bit of a push at the front. Classic going forwards with these Immortals in the Prism. If it's the Spire that's coming up that I'm worried about, because he doesn't really have much to deal with a Spire. Although that said, warping a few Stalkers. Then again, how do you warp in a few Stalkers? He's only got 1 gateway. Takes the Nexus on the low ground now in the end. 4 meters on the way up. Classic again about to break through in towards the back bases. A couple of Spines finishing as well, but with 4 or 5 Immortals, I mean, Spines are not going to last very long at all. Again, the Muta's on the way. I just don't think Classic has an answer. Once those Mutas come into play, the Lings are going to come through. A force field coming down, and now microing backward with the prism. But again, Mutas are about to pop up. There's no answer to Mutalisk right here. Spinecrawler goes down. The War Prism's going to get picked off here as well, which means these Immortals can't really stick around for too much longer. And Classic, again, just has no answer to Mutalisk right now. He's going to pick off a lot of Zerglings, sure, but no answer to Mutas means no answer to Mutas. GG. And Solar's going to take game. To the top right-hand side, up one game in this best of 5, our red Zerg player from Splice. It is Solar. And he is playing against the blue Protoss to the lower left-hand side of the map. Give it up if you're cheering on Classic. It's game 2 of the series. Let's see what's going to happen here as we get set up and ready to roll. I haven't seen Octane yet today, just to see what we get to see out of it over the next few minutes. Again, 4 best of 5s today, guys, in the semi-final and the quarterfinals, leading us into tomorrow's semi-finals and 3rd place matchup. That'll be a couple best of 7s and best of 5, and that's tomorrow from 1 PM CEST. And we're going to be having our grand finals on Friday. That's best of 15. All maps will be played because every map will be worth $50 added to the prize of each player. Next is going to get thrown down here. And the expansion starts to get set up early. Hatch pool, or hatch gas pool, is the opening from Solar, which is built into the early stages. Cybercore coming down as well. And seeing how this is going to go. I'm excited to see Scarlet Gumiho later, because you got to remember Scarlet did beat TY 3-0 in the group stages. If she can beat Gumiho today, that would be quite a shocker. An all non-Korean top half of the bracket. Probe's just going to be mining away here as Classic, setting up with an expansion. Octane, one of the maps that came through into, I think, the standard category, if not the Mac. I think it's standard. Very simple to get up to 3 bases on. Now you can expand down here if you prefer, or up here if you prefer. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. A bit of a different way of kind of... The 3 bases aren't kind of super normal, I would say. There's something a bit different while also still being designed to try and be kind of, you know... while trying to be able to kind of expand somewhat easily, I suppose. So we'll continue to move through down towards the bottom left-hand side. Overlord is coming up here as well. Evolution Chamber from Solar starting to build, and this might just be a Lingle in from Solar with such an early Evo Chamber. Obviously looking to set up into Dropper Lords. He is making another couple of drones though, which is suggestive, of course, that he's not going to go for that. Maybe just one drop in Overlord and just the 8 Zerglings which he already has on the map to try and apply some pressure in the early stages. Which might not be a bad thing. Oracle on the way up right now from Classic. Obviously, if Solar times this out correctly, his Zerglings will be striking while there's not really too much in the main base. The 2 Adepts going forward, though, going to try and put an end to this already, and just already nibbling away and getting rid of one of those Zerglings. So one of those Zerglings going down again. The 2 Adepts together, pretty powerful, as we're going to be seeing Zerglings moving back out on towards the map now. These 2 Adepts going to be pulling on back home as well towards the lower left-hand side, and the melee upgrade coming through here now for Solar. The Void Ray will build from Classic as well to start working his way through the Overlord. And you're going to see those Lings just hopping up into the Overlord to drop into the main in the next few moments. So again, damage looking to be done in the next few moments here. Probe sees this though. Probe will go down, sacrifices his life building that pylon. But the Adept's able to now shade into the main and start getting ready to fight this. With the Probe pulls as well, it should be pretty minimized damage. He loses 3 workers, 4 workers, 5. This is a little bit more than I thought it would be, and lost man in time as well. Meanwhile, Ling's trying to bust at the front. Still a little bit behind on the worker count after killing 5 workers still, so it's not the end of the world for Classic. But maybe could have just... I really didn't think he was going to lose so much in the main base there. Which of the maps will be removed for the best of 15 because the 16 maps? Yeah, I didn't think about that yet because I really thought there was only 15 maps like every other Team Liquid map contest. So I really thought there was only 15, which obviously brings us to this sort of weird point where I basically, I don't know. I really don't know. we're probably just going to remove the one which has been played the most, which has the most players on it. And we might do something special with it, like we might run like a fun little kind of show match single game or something. Maybe we take a couple of viewers out the chat to play on it, just so it's seen for the on the finals day. Maybe we do AI versus AI. That was kind of fun. We casted AI versus AI once, was kind of fun. Maybe we could do that for the final map. I don't know. I've been trying to think of a couple of ways to try and just incorporate the final map, which obviously is not going to be able to be part of the actual grand final. And then let's moving through the center, and we're going to be seeing Solar coming in towards the left-hand side. Bane Nest on the way up, Lair on the way down as well. And Mally upgrade about to finish for himself, so setting up into a fairly standard game behind all of this. Putting use to that early Dropper Lord Evo Chamber, now using it for these upgrades. Obviously puts him into a nice little position. Void Ray from Classic has picked up a couple of kills so far. Getting rid of the Overlord in the main base. Obviously the Dropper Lord is one of its big wins of the game up until this point, as we're going to be seeing a Spire on the way down again from Solar. Again, looking to play this Mutalist style. Forge Vow that will come up from Classic. A Twilight Council 2 continues set up into this, now a second Oracle on the way out. Oh, sorry, he's got a bunch of Oracles. I didn't realize he had so many. He's actually got 5 Oracles. Wow, I just completely missed the second Stargate. Apologies. So he's playing this kind of, the big Oracle style then. And well, Solar, his plan is going to be to go into a bunch of Corruptors to try and fight against that. We're going to be seeing these Oracles committing onto first the Queen, then the Spore. There's a second Spore here as well. He'll turn around and fight more Queens instead, though the Void Ray continue to take damage. As we're going to see, one of the Oracles is very low and will go down if targeted, but nothing gets targeted correctly there, and Classic loses very little. And now this Spore Crawler going to take some more damage too. Void Ray going to get rid of the Overlord, and as the Spore goes down, drones will begin to drop, and Classic starting to do enough damage to bring himself really into a bit of a lead in this game, to the point where that will just be GG. Solar just straight up dies to these Oracles that break as we set up into Blackpink for this PvZ. So top right hand side, our red Protoss player is going to be Classic. He is the lone Protoss in this round of 8 bracket. Doing this for the Protoss race, can he put himself towards the semi-finals, win this map, and he's on match point. As he is going up against the bottom left hand side, the blue Zerg player. It is going to be Solar. So again, set up, getting ready to go. Waiting to see how this will continue. You're just going to see some drones mining away, some workers on gas as well here, as we get set up and rolling. Next is coming down, Cybernetics Core dropping down also. Again, getting this set up, getting this rolling in the early stages, and waiting to see how this game number 3 is going to go on Blackpink, map by Avex. The last map, Octane by Mavis, by the way. And the map before that, Arch of Janus by Enek. Fourth map will now guaranteed to be seen is going to be Backwater. So actually going to see the Avex map once again. And the fifth map, if possible, is going to be Abiogenesis. After this, we're going to have Cyril versus Snoot as well. They're going to be playing on a whole bunch of maps that haven't really been seen so much today, or which haven't been seen as much throughout the tournament. Again, our goal is to get each map seen as much as possible. So far, we're our worst, least represented map is actually Anomaly, Battle on the Boardwalk, and Neotropicana at 4 maps played apiece. Backwater and Octane will have been played 7 times. So it's not too far away from each other. We're hoping to basically not let Octane and Backwater back into map pools for a while until everything else kind of catches up to 7. So yeah, it's working out okay so far. Okay, let's put the game stats back on as we tap back in. Stop looking at my stats page. Earlier Depp moving around to see what's going on. Pneumatized Carapace from Solar, and I wonder if you guys are going towards... did you have Pneumatized Carapace last game? I can't remember, but you got to think every time a Zerg builds Pneumatized Carapace, that possibility of the kind of the Queen drops and some sort of Link Queen all day. So we're just going to be seeing this Adept Shaden And cancelling that to see the third hatchery is indeed on the way down. Just right now, Classic trying to pick up some information. We can see what's going down. Horde symbols on the ramp. There is. Not wrong. You see there's another gate coming down. We're actually going to see a Phoenix on the way out now from Classic. No Void Ray this time around, so Phoenix style push back the Overlords this time. See what he is. Obviously a bit worse in terms of straight up fighting, so maybe he doesn't look to kind of go for a straight up fight as a follow up to this. He's just going to be seeing the again, the Oracle pulling away towards the lower right hand side. Phoenix up top from Classic, looking to see where it can go to. I'm just going to be seeing the Overlord taking some damage. Got Ivishak in the chat saying Blackpink is pretty good. This and Backwater are my favourite macro maps. Well, do let us know who everyone else, by the way, if, you know, which of these maps are your favourite, which ones you're enjoying, and so on. Would love to hear what you guys have to say about it. As you do see the Phoenix coming through, and it is going to be able to kill that Overlord. So Overlord gets picked off. Again, this is what the Phoenix is designed for. Even with speed, the Phoenix can do a good job against them. As we just see, it's they're going to sat on the third Nexus location, waiting for Classic to move forwards and to try and take it. Just so he knows that it's trying to be taken, you know. Or if a single probe comes over without the units, then maybe he can actually push it away and delay it by just a little bit. Then he's trying to jump onto that probe right away there. I think he's going to pull these Adepts, or the Adept and the Zealots, a little bit away, which will stop them from coming in towards the probe over here, which means that the Zergling will get that kill. So that's exactly why you sort of leave that Zergling over in that position there. Two Oracles and the Phoenix looking around, still looking for what further damage could be done. You've seen this Overlord to the top right hand side now, so you'll start to move over in this location for that. Stalker already on top of it, but the Phoenix just guarantees the kill, as the Oracles just going to be left to come back over. Obviously they can't do too much about the Overlord, whereas the Phoenix can. Warp Prism pops out, Templar Archives coming through in a charge as well. Maybe we see a bit of a charge with Archon attack, something we saw Zest use on time and time again basically throughout his group stage games. Maybe we see some more of that right now as we do see these couple Oracles try and do what they can. Going back now towards the center. And 4 more gateways coming up again. That possibility of a couple of Archons and some Zealots on the Prism. And it becomes very powerful. He's actually going to bring his Adept and Stalker from early in the game across as well, using the units to actually push the Morphin Archons forwards. Nice little technique just to speed things up when it comes to getting ready for this attack. Solo though, building up Roaches, 7 more in the production tab right now. You can see Archon grabs himself a quick team already, and well, 2 more High Templar warping in, getting ready to become that Archon once again. Obviously no Mothership Core, no recall available, and so this is going to be one of those scenarios where Classic has to be very careful not to find himself overcommitting or anything, because it's not going to be a very easy position to uncommit from. Going to come in from the left hand side, going to be looking to try and do a bit more damage. There we go, the Queen's actually under attack from the Oracle here, and actually the Oracles do pick up a Queen kill from the get-go. Archon's doing a good job against the Roaches in the back. Phoenix trying to lift up a Roach or 2 to help out as well. This Oracle gets away from the Queen and will get back into action. Will go down right now though. The Archons to the right hand side are still destroying these Roaches though. Warp Prism needs to maybe think about coming back over here, because it seems to be where a lot of the major damage is being done. These Archons now though maybe in a bit of trouble. He lifts up 2 of them. This one going to be left to die. Solo with a lot of Roaches. An Immortal on the way up now. Solo will go immediately for a counter-attack though. And it's obviously down to Classic to try and slow him down, stop him. And that's going to be done by a warping of Zealots into the main base. And they're going to be used to try and fight here, although one of the Archons going down again. Mistakes being made at the moment by Classic. He cannot afford these Archons to disappear. If the Archons go down, he's not going to have a lot left on the map to deal with this Roach counter-attack. And now Solar is building up to the point where he has so many units, and he'll be able to push towards the upper right, and he's going to be able to do quite a lot about it. One more Zealots warping in, and well, Classic really has to do something to buy himself some time right now to build up more Immortals, etc. The issue is, I mean, I guess he's got force fields, and it is a very narrow entrance to this base. He could actually probably knock down this cooling tower as well. I don't think that would be a bad idea, but he's actually sitting quite far back to stop this. You can see those Zealots dropping down to the third base now, and they will start to do some damage. Some Roaches finally on the way over. Now these units are going to come down to the low ground. The Immortal at the front there for a moment. There's the force fields, and they are going to be nice force fields to help up with this. Corrosive Valves coming down. As soon as they do come down, though, the force fields are replaced. Another Immortal comes out from the top side, gets pushed back into the main immediately, though. And that's another mistake by Classic, allowing that Immortal to walk out into this army. Should never really happen. Another couple of force fields. And now his sentries are running low on energy, and what else are they going to really add to this fight? Well, not really too much. As you're going to see some starts from the right side again. This Immortal still chunking away at Roaches, but again, there's just not going to be enough. And the Solar pushes through, and we'll take a 2-1 lead in this best of 5. Set up into game number 4. Down by a map. Has to win 2 in a row to advance to the semis now. It's our Blue Protoss player. It is Classic. And to the upper left, our Red Zerg from Splice. It's Solar. Serral versus Snoot after this series. Followed later today by Gumiho versus Scarlet. We've actually got a double header today. I'm going to be casting the OG Cup playoffs this evening. The round of 8 starts a little bit later on. I believe in that it's going to be Tier Low, Parstum, DNS, sort of, Optimus, Denver, Mana, and Raynor. Those 8 players playing some best of 5s against each other in day 1 of the playoffs, day 2 tomorrow evening. So look forward to that, honestly. It should be pretty good. Should be pretty good. Means that we're going to have a long stream today, guys. That starts up in about 4.5 hours time. In between that and this, we'll be keeping the stream live to rebroadcast for a little bit. So, plenty of StarCraft action coming your way today. Pretty much just non-stop from start to end. Hatch pool, hatch gas pool on the way up against the Nexus opening. Large map, expecting to be seen a longer game. And so far, exactly what we expect, right? Nothing crazy at all. Solo 1 game ahead right now. As we are just going to be seeing the the Cyber Core just building up here, going to be finishing in a moment or two. Man, it's very warm in here today, in the studio. It's a bit, like cloggy, I suppose. Nexus will finish up, and again, just send into a Stargate here. Classic going to play a fairly standard opener, it seems, in the next few months. The feeling when people fail to highlight a name? What do you mean player fun? Highlight a name? Here just Carapace here from Solo. Again, a large map, and just expecting to see probably 3 base players play a piece. It's very easy to get up to the 3 bases here. If anyone's going to kind of twist that a bit, I think it probably would be Classic, the player who could, you know, use War Prism play and maybe get around that. To be fair, actually, Solo taking the 3rd hatchery out front. Not going to take this 3rd hatchery down here just yet, so going to keep that maybe for his 4th, or maybe he just doesn't like the idea of this base and where it's positioned. So maybe he just doesn't take that that base at all now. It's a possibility too. Phoenix on the way up. As the Phoenix comes up, we will see Classic just starting to set up into his 3rd Nexus as well. As mentioned, expecting this to go a little bit longer, expecting this to set on up, and yeah, seeing what's going to happen. Oracle doesn't find anything initially, doesn't even pop its Pulsar Beam, just backs away right from the get-go. And what's Solo going to go for here? I mean, Evolution Chamber coming up, probably just melee starting right away, and start building into probably Lingbane Hydra. We're going to see the Stasis Sword coming in, Solo's not paying attention, he is at the end! And it will just be one drone to sacrifice himself into that there. So Classic not able to slow this mining down too much, but a little bit lost mining time as he pulls away. Twilight Council, Forge, and Robo Facility all on the way down. So all those tech structures which will help Classic to build into a mid-game composition as well. Not going to go for the multiple Stargates, not going to go back to what kind of won him game number 2. And there's only maps so far of this series. Again, just going to be seeing the Overlord setting up into drop mode, and obviously with Pneumatized Carapace invested into early, he now gets the benefit of that here now too, and obviously got the benefit of scouting with it early as well. Again, that's why a lot of people really like Pneumatized Carapace, because okay, it slows you down ever so slightly, but you get so much information off of it. Not only do you get so much information off of it, you also get the possibility to start dropping with the Overlord speed from a nice early stage as well. If you didn't have the ability to drop and drop around the map, it really limits you as to what you can actually do as the Zerg player. Zerg right now is heading in towards the main base. And that's going to be seeing the Temple Archives on the way down. Charge on the way up, and everything kind of still going as we expected to. This Oracle is hunting around to try and be a bit more disruptive. There's only one Oracle on the map, so see the stats were in the exact same place. Solar is not going to see it, and this time every single drone bar one on this mineral line gets caught, or two get caught. That's kind of huge. An entire base of mining denied for a good 20 seconds or so there, so this was really nice by Classic. It was a perfect position for it, right in the center. Boom, every single drone getting caught there. Really well placed. Nice lift on this sentry as well for the Phoenix to save it from the Zerglings. Classic playing pretty well right now, and he's getting some extra gates up to begin warping in, potentially some charge ops perhaps. Maybe he wants to try and hit this base. This is of course the fourth base location of Solar right here. Hydra's Den on the way up. Bane's nice about to finish too. Mozart's going to be setting up for Classic here shortly. He's actually already got a couple of Archons ready to roll. As these extra gates finish, obviously opens more opportunities. Initial Zealot and Archon's going to be setting up, and again, going to start working their way through the fourth hatch. Let's see if Classic can get rid of this. Already a Queen coming forwards though, and obviously wants to try and get on top of the Warp Prism. Get rid of the Warp Prism, of course, you get rid of a major threat of these Archons. They're going to start counting backwards already. And Classic with some good micro here, actually trading very well against what is the pure Zergling defense. For now, Hydra's on the way though, and Banes are here too. Obviously, Banes crashing into singular Archons though is not really effective.
It will clean them up, but again, definitely not efficiently.
Main goal right now for Solar is just surviving to get in towards his Lingbane Hydra composition. From there, he becomes the aggressor, and he can be the one to start attacking around the map. Obviously, still has to defend the pressure, but it's nowhere near kind of his life or death as it is right now. If you lose too much, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. I think it's forcing those Archons to lift up once again. Prism comes down the left-hand side here. Spire building up in the natural expansion. The Warp Prism just starting to come back home. This will give, though, Solar the opportunity to become aggressive. He might rock the Archons back home and then lift up Zealots. No reason to keep the Warp Prism at home in general overall. In fact, he kind of needs it on the map. The more distractions and damage he does to Solar, the better it'll be. He actually, does load some Zealots up into it. So across the map he goes with that. Meanwhile, Zerglin's starting to accumulate at the front base of the Protoss. Choosing to expand up the right-hand side of the map. Already has that expansion starting to come down into play. Right-hand side, along the left-hand side. This was the fourth base, sorry. Silly mistake by me for a moment there. As you can see, a lot of Lings ready to defend, and Zealot's just getting picked right back up after some damage on the Queen. Classic finds himself moving away through the left-hand side. As you will see, some Hydras going to try and come in to chase this down. That Warp Prism continues to just wander away through the left. 17 meters on the way up, and that's something we don't really see a switch ready for just yet. And even though he's building a fleet beacon here, Classic, he's only got one Stargate, so it's not like Phoenix are going to start coming out super quickly. I mean, Classic's going to have, well, Archons, but no Blink for his, Stalkers. He does have Storm. He can actually go quite a long way, I guess. His actual army can't really be engaged by Mutas, I suppose, as long as he hits the right Storms, etc. But the problem is his army definitely is nowhere near as mobile as Mutas, and so defending his bases is going to be the harder part of this. Fourth Nexus will come down once again. You're just going to see those meters pushing forwards. They're going to immediately open up the gap for those Links to run through into the natural expansion. Is there a warp in? No, there isn't. Link is allowed in, and so Solar. Well, now there's a force field. I guess he can push it down if the Archon's right. Stalkers in the main that get warped in aren't going to be able to really do anything. So Solo is picking away, well, he's already picking away at the pylon, which is powering that Stargate and the Robo and the Twilight and the Archive is one of the gateways. And now he's going to be picking away everything in the main base. Fleet Beacon is on its way down. And that transition into the Sky Toss here from Classic is going to be denied. Another pylon going to empower a few gateways here. Stalker's coming in towards the main base. And these Zerglings continue to run on forward. These Stalkers keep on dropping in. Classic really having some issues right now against this kind of muteless play. It looks as though he's just going to lose his main, but the problem is losing his main means he loses so much more in the process as well. This singular Archon, now a couple more. High Templar 2 going forward to try and protect it, but I mean the mutas just back away and they're looking good to just relocate and do damage elsewhere. Classic down a 140 supply and Solo looking to make this a ZvZ semi-final against Sue tomorrow. Would make us have 3 Zergs in the top 4 of the competition. 3 Zergs in the top 4, wow. So it would be all eyes on Gumiho as the non-Zerg hope to try and give us a non-Zerg ZvZ finals. Oh god, Gumiho, no pressure mate, but that's kind of scary. Banelings and Hydra's going to run on in, and I just don't think Classic has anything really to fight with. Storm's come down very late into the fight already. Pretty much everything's already dead for Classic. I mean, okay, he's got some Archons and Immortal. The Storms obviously have to come from somewhere, but the reality is Classic is down half the army supply of his opponent, and now once more, Solo's going to leap through the south side and in towards the main base to get some more damage done. And again, he finds himself pushing into another Storm. And you see High Temple continue to drop, a couple more of them just being killed. And yes, the Storms are deadly, they're dangerous, but there's no follow-up to these Storms, and so the mutas just back away from the northern side. Okay, there's cannons like back away up here. Instead, there's plenty of ways out, and while he does lose a couple more mutas on his way, it's still looking pretty okay for him, as those mutas will continue back up towards the upper left-hand side. Rolling is building once again, and 37 Banelings on the way up. Obviously Solo looking to end this in the near future with another wave of units pushing forwards. A cannon goes down here as Bane's trying to hit the mineral line. Obviously they're not successful, but again, it's the cannon he might just have to go and replace. And well, here we go, pushing forwards. Solo will burst on through in towards the mineral lines, and well, as the Banelings connect, everything is going to disappear. The Storms are way too late, and Classic gets a little bit stumpy, honestly, in this ZvP. You see this Archon finish up, and well, now the mutas start to take some hits. The Hydras again going to be working their way through these Archons. GG! And Solo goes through to the semi-finals.